My name is Donna Maloney. I live at 111 Tempura Drive in Oak Ridge. And I'm here to speak to you about a selection of a board member to the library board. The selection of a representative to the library board should be based on several standards. First, the person should have a comprehensive view of the library system and its mission. The board should not be a place for people with a single issue interest or a personal agenda. Second, the person should support the overall mission of the library system. Libraries are safe spaces for all people of the community to come and find resources, information, and literature suited to their individual tastes and desires. It serves everyone in the community. Third, the person should use the libraries. People on the board should be acquainted with the libraries they are serving and thereby be a stakeholder when it comes to making important decisions for the libraries. Finally, the person should be committed to supporting the professional librarians and their staff. The librarians are highly educated, intelligent, capable people, and their work should be respected by those appointed to the board. I respectfully request that you support the appointment of Terri Ryan to the library board, as I believe she exemplifies all of these standards. Terri is an active user and huge supporter of our library system. She runs a book club, frequently uses library services, and emphasizes the role of libraries as safe havens for the community. Her dedication to and understanding of our library system would make her an excellent choice.
I'm Janine Brewer. I live at 956 Sinking Springs Road. Anderson County's been my home for 63 years. When I was leaving my house, my husband said, quote, "You know it's hard for you to be subtle," so bear that in mind. 6 years ago, and I'm also the outgoing person on the library board that you are considering replacing. So 6 years ago when I was on the library board, I was asked to be there by a regional library member. And at the time, as members' appointments ran out, it was very hard to find a person for the library board. You really had to beat the bushes. But now we have a situation where we have like 8 or 10 people applying. So in your process to decide, that might be one question you ask people: why now? Why are you coming to the board now? Some other things you want to consider when choosing a board member: you want to find someone who will definitely support the goals and missions of our libraries. Our libraries research proves over and over that a very strong public library kind of fuels a community's economy. It improves property values. It draws businesses to the community, and it's very important. You need to pick someone who is willing to listen and consider different opinions than some of their own, and someone who is a problem solver, and someone who's interested in solutions. Someone who is articulate and unbiased. And I know it's very hard to see these things when you just read a piece of paper or hear someone for 3 minutes, but those are very important qualities for the board. And also, if you look at the skill set of the board members, do we have someone with technical skills, with financial skills, with organizational management skills, with literary and even writing skills? We need a good writer on the board. While I have been on the board, good heavens, I made a list of words that came to my mind. I've been inspired, humored, exasperated, grateful, frustrated, floored, disappointed, and absolutely just exasperated. But more than anything, I have developed a very deep appreciation for everyone that serves on the board, because good heavens, these are voluntary positions, and especially, that includes county commission and our city councils. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to serve. I've learned so much. And the only thing I can say, it may seem like a very small responsibility.
30 seconds.
Thanks, but it isn't. It reminds me of a scripture that says, "Out of small things proceedeth that which is great." And so who you choose to be on the library board will matter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okie doke. All right. Go to elections, the nominating committee report. So just please bear with me for just a second here on this one. The nominating committee meeting was on June 10th at 5 o'clock to appoint the vacancy, the upcoming vacancy for the library board that Ms. Brewer, her term will be expiring at the end of the month. There was a nomination for chairman and vice chairman. Those were approved. The nominations made by the board to be interviewed were Ms. Darla Williams, Terri Ryan, and Adriana Olson. The first round of ballot, no one met the majority. Ms. Olson was then the lowest vote, moved off. And then we had several votes thereafter where a majority was not met. There was a motion made by Commissioner Wells, seconded by Commissioner Isbell, that if a decision was not made, that we would forward it to full commission. That is where we are at today. Ms. Williams had the majority, didn't have the majority, but had 2 more votes than Ms. Ryan. And then it's my understanding that the library board met on Thursday of last week. Is that correct?
Yes, but we did not take up the issue or make a recommendation since
Okay.
it was forwarded to commission.
All righty. So at this point, I will open the floor to any commissioner. For nominating committee, it came down to Darla Williams and Terri Ryan. Commissioner McCamey.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make or nominate both of the candidates, Ms. Williams and Terri Ryan.
Okay.
And then ask them if they're here to speak to us, and then we can make our decision.
Absolutely. All right, we have that. Is there any other nominations from the floor? All right. Is there a motion to cease nominations?
I'll make the motion nomination cease, Mr. Chairman.
All righty. We have a motion and seconded by Commissioner Yeager. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. So what we'll do, if it's okay with commission, we'll just go in the order that we went in at nominating. So Ms. Williams, we'll allow you to kind of go over your background again, and then if commission has any questions, we'll
Okay.
we'll put 3 minutes on the clock, and Commissioner Foster will let you know.
Okay. I'll probably
You
do.
don't have to talk 3 minutes.
Okay.
No, you don't if you don't want
I
to.
probably will. My name's Darla Williams, and first thing I want to say is both the ladies that spoke, I agree with everything they said. And I feel like I meet all those criteria that they laid out. I am a retired educator. I worked in Anderson County. I've worked in Knox County, taught English language arts in Anderson County and world history in Knox County. I also served for 3.5 years as a school librarian. So I do have a good knowledge of literacy. My passion is reading. I've used the library since I was 4 or 5 years old, had a library card since then. Always used the library. I use mostly online because I was teaching. It was hard for me to get to the library before the library closed. But I've always been in a library somewhere. My husband kids me every time we go on vacation. I always go visit the library. I always check them out. I do have quite a variety of background. I have financial experience. I've been a children's and youth ministry director. I've done budgets in nursing. I've done budgets in church. I've done budgets at school. So a $600,000 budget doesn't scare me. I'm very responsible. I've done booster club money, a bit of oversharing, they told me, with what the money was spent for, but I feel like that's important. So I don't feel any kind of qualms about that whatsoever. I do feel like I'm qualified. I have a lot of leadership ability. I've worked with some people sitting in this room who can testify to that. But I look forward to working with the board. I don't have any agenda. I love the library, and and I'll just address the elephant in the room, I guess you could say. As far as all the hoopla with the library, I wasn't involved in any of that. I didn't attend the meetings. My mother was sick. My father and I were taking care of her. Didn't have the time to do that. So I was kind of out of the loop a little bit, I guess you could say. But when I started doing some research, it broke my heart. That because I love the library, and it concerned me. And I started checking out the TSLA, you know, the state mission and all the things that go with working a library board. And I saw some things that I could be an asset with that maybe are not being done. You know, that's something for me to figure out, you know, when I get in there and start working. But I've worked with all kinds of people. I taught middle school. I'll leave that there. So I've learned how to handle a lot of problems. But I look forward to working with everyone, and I have nothing but wanting the library to be a source of service to our community and do good for our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions?
All right, are there any questions for Ms. Williams from the commission? All right, seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Ryan, are you here? I didn't, there you are. You're being hid back there. Again, you'll have 3 minutes. Commissioner Foster will warn you at 30 seconds if they're.
Thank you. My name's Terri Ryan. I am new to this process. I saw the ad in the Courier News that said they were looking for a library board member at large in the county, and I thought, wow, that's an interesting thing. I would like to do that. I've been looking for a way to give back to the county. I've been here a long time as well, and thought I wanted to volunteer in some fashion to give back to the county. And I do participate in a book club, and I believe that libraries are a source of lifelong learning. Everybody goes to the library from the time you're little and all the way through adults, and my children are grown now, and I have more time to serve, and I am fascinated by the Rocky Top Library Garden thing, how they're bringing the learning where you're actually doing things, and that makes you interested in checking out a book to learn even more about the topic. So I really found that very fascinating that they brought that to the Rocky Top Library. I have lots of experience in a lot of things as well. And I substitute taught in between jobs. When my one job went away, I didn't want to sit home, so I did substitute teach for many years. So I have experience doing that. I mentor college kids and high school teachers in my job right now. I sent you, all the commissioners, my resume. And if you have any questions for me, I'm very interested in serving the county. I don't have an agenda either. I was not involved in any of that stuff. I don't have social media. I don't follow it. What I know about it, I read in the newspaper. And so.
All right.
Does
Thank you.
anybody have any questions?
All right, is there any questions for Ms. Ryan? Excuse me. Okey-doke, seeing none.
Ryan, where do you live at?
I live at 111 Mike Miller Lane. I'm in the county. I'm not a city, any of the city residents. I live in the county.
Mike Miller.
Mike
Yes.
Miller, all right.
Thank you.
Okey-doke. There any questions before we move to making our selection?
Mr. Chairman, Ms. Williams, where do you live at?
I live in the city, but I pay county taxes.
I didn't ask you that. Tell me where you live.
That's okay. I live on Woodland Drive in Clinton.
Woodland?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Woodland Drive. Commissioner Wells?
I'm gonna, if this is inappropriate to ask, you stop me. I'm also gonna give the commissioner an out if he doesn't wanna show any favor one way or the other. But Commissioner Anderson being our sole member on the library board, if he's comfortable, I'd kinda like to get your opinion on where you stand. And again, if you wanna step back and not answer, I respect that as well.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Wells. I consistently voted for Ms. Ryan at the nominating meeting. I do think since there's been some discussion about the composition of the board and if the county has enough representation and stuff, that if I were to make a distinction, since we're replacing a county at-large member, we should stick with the county. And having said that, I think they're both eminently qualified. I don't doubt that at all, but that was the position I had at the board meeting. And I did not, we did not take it up at the library board level since it's really commission's final say-so to confirm whether the board recommends or whether nominating recommends. So I didn't want to, we didn't think we'd create an awkward situation if we went one way and commission went the other, since we're going to work with whoever commission appoints. So, but, yeah, thank you.
All right. Commissioner McCamey?
That was one of the things that concerned me, is Clinton, the city of Clinton appoints 2 members to the board. The city of Rocky Top appoints 2, and the city of Norris appoints 2. Is that right? And then there's 2 that generally come from the rural section of the county. This would give Clinton, with Ms. Williams, to give her, give the city of Clinton 3 members on the board, and it'd be a little top-heavy because we'd only have 1 at-large member that's from the rural part of the county. Commissioner Anderson is on the board, and he's in the rural part of the county, but he is the commission representative, not the county representative, not the at-large county representative. But
Yeah.
it's generally been 2, 2, 2, and 2, and then 1 commissioner. And that does concern me that Clinton would have 3. You know, be a little top-heavy in my opinion.
Gotcha. Commissioner Palmer?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If that is the direction that we want to go, that should be written down or in our rules or somewhere, mentioned somewhere, and it wasn't. A public notice was given to the entire county, and as it's been stated, all of the Clinton residents, Oak Ridge residents, pay county taxes. So I don't see this as representing Clinton, but this person would be representing the entire county. And I would hate for us to sacrifice the most qualified, the one with the most qualifications, because they live in a city limits, especially since this is not written anywhere. It's not a rule. It's not anywhere noted. So wasn't given in the public notice as well. So I would hate for us to not choose the most qualified person for the position.
Gotcha. All right.
Mr. Chairman, I didn't mean to insinuate that
No,
it was written down or anything.
No,
It's just
yeah.
a concern that I had.
Yes, sir. Any other commissioners? Commissioner Allen?
Yeah, I also agree with Commissioner Palmer. Also, Ms. Williams, coming out of the nominating committee, she had the most votes. She had, 2/3 more votes than the other lady did. So we should consider that also.
Thank you. Annette? Well, I'm going to go to Commissioner Isbell, but we'll go ahead and get this party started here. Commissioner Isbell, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In nominating committee, I was the one that nominated Ms. Williams, and it's based because of the impressive resume that she had. And I actually called and spoke to 3, as a matter of fact, from different areas that she worked in. And all 3 gave her all stellar recommendations. And that was without them talking to each other. I mean, it's just 3 completely independent. So that's why I went in that direction. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Val, I'm going to give you the last word, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't ever get the last word, especially at home, but I appreciate that.
This is a carryover Father's Day gift.
To Commissioner McCamey's point, he may not be aware of this, but in a few of the nominating committee meetings I've attended in the past, that very issue was brought up, that it is a county-wide library system. We got into the discussion of it's a city library in Oak Ridge, but Oak Ridge residents can come to the Rocky Top Library if they so choose. We spoke about it's the library in Norris, but people from Rocky Top can go to the Norris Library if they choose. And I believe, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, it was determined that it was going to be extremely difficult to say the county representatives only resided in the county. Technically, the only library that's outside of city limit is ours up in Briceville. So I get where Commissioner McCamey's coming from, but I don't know if that's a relevant point as we discuss this issue here today. I believe it's been discussed before, and the majority of us have decided it's not an issue. Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. All right, so if you haven't done so already, just make sure your name is on the top, or the top line, and who you are supporting on the second line. And I know Commissioner Foster. Oh, my bad. And then the clerk will call the roll in the vote. And just so everybody knows, it will take 9 votes to secure this appointment.
Think either one of them would be good.
All right, Ms. Ryan, you have been appointed to the Anderson County Library Board.
Mr. Chairman, would it be appropriate if
Yeah, I was,
call that into the microphone just to have it on record?
yeah, if you could read out the results loudly.
Commissioner Mays, Williams, Commissioner Palmer, Williams, Commissioner McCamey was Ryan, Commissioner Isabel was Williams, Commissioner Anderson was Ryan, Commissioner Allen was Williams, Commissioner Barron was Ryan, Commissioner Yeager, Ryan, Commissioner Vandergriff, Ryan, Commissioner Val, Williams, Commissioner Smallridge, Ryan, Commissioner Waddell, Ryan, Commissioner Beauchamps, Ryan, Commissioner White, Ryan, Michael Foster, Commissioner Williams, and Aaron Wells, Commissioner Ryan. 10 for Ryan and 6 for Williams.
Thank you, sir. All right, Ms. Ryan, congratulations. You will now represent the county on the library board.